So much for this work. Welcome to everyone. I'm happy to share something with you that is quite precious for me. So I will share um, here we are. Yes, I hope you can see that. Just will open it better. Wow, okay. Um, Here you can see Neuchâtel. This is a bit from a hill. You see the big lake, the biggest lake in Switzerland that is just surrounded by Switzerland, and this is the city. And I work just here uh, beneath the castle. Okay. Um, I think everyone who works with adolescents knows this famous don't know, don't know. And you can use all these chemotherapy techniques to overcome this detached protector. Um, there is also all these self-soother like video games, school up centers, and other strong compensation strategies. I think you all know that. Adolescents sometimes just to get quiet their parents, they come into therapy. Oh, it's not me. I'm not motivated. It's not me having a problem. It's my parents, and just leave me alone, leave me in peace, and so on. Um, so they are sometimes quite skilled to put adults into helplessness or press on their emotional button to reactivate their schemas to test adults whether really these adults are motivated to keep attachment, a link to them, a relationship. And I think you have already made the experience that can be hard as a therapist to say, okay, I'm really interested in you. And I know behind all this facade, these walls of protection, of refusing coming here, I know you just looking for attachment, for a good relationship. And of course, we all know these pattern breaking skills, pattern breaking for those who are not really um, instructed in schema therapy. This is just interrupt what is going on between me and the client. We can role changing things. This is really helpful. Okay, dear adolescent, come and take the place of me therapist, and I play you, just to show them how that feels, not as a therapist, but as a human being to be being put in this helplessness. We also have classical chair works, techniques that Maria and all the other intervenants have us shown us in a very nice way. What I try to do with a lot of these adolescents is a chair work with three chairs. So we have the clever mode chair, the detached protector chair, and the inner child. I don't need more. And in this work, I add sensory motor psychotherapy. What is sensorimotor psychotherapy? This is traumatological intervenence possibility created by Pat Ogden. You might know her name. Otherwise, we have wonderful books in the bibliography I put also in these slides. You will find her on internet, and this is a wonderful approach, a bodywork approach. And this is on the one hand for real heavy life-threatening traumas, and on the other hand for developmental traumas, which have been mentioned just earlier in the morning. And A and B, these two types, we have other interventional protocols. But the mainly B, also that means these developmental traumas have a lot of similitudes with schema therapy. They also speak of child part, of adult part, of protecting parts. These are the detached protectors and other strategies. And the both of them, A and B, have in one therapy session or in a global therapy, we have five-step circles. This is like to how to access to people to the problem. This is the container, the theme, if you want. Then how to access, how to process, how to heal, then transform and to integrate. That might remind you to imagery work, and it's not that different. So we have between the first steps, we have what we call frames. A frame is the agreement of the patient to say, do you agree? Taking your theme of playing video games the whole of the day, and sorry, I have a little flu, to and that it gets angry, it gets you angry that when mom wants to stop you, and where you feel that this anger may be in your chest, for instance, until reaching the inner child state. And for me, as a schema therapist, the inner child state of sensorimotor psychotherapy is not different from inner child in schema therapy. And as soon as we have dived into this state, as slow as needed and as fast as possible, sorry, we try to transform. This goes a bit further than just reparenting. We can make reparenting in a schema therapy way, but we also can go further with some prompts or with other exercises. What I have done here is a comparison of schema therapy, chair work, and sensorimotor psychotherapy. So if we have the chair of detached protector, um, the client incorporates this mode. You might know that. Please go onto this chair and now try to play your adolescent as a game player. Maybe I give some useful things to really imitate. Imagine your room. They also can use my computer if it's helpful. And often adolescents say, "I don't know how to make, I don't know, no, it's not what I want to do." And here I can place some sensory motor psychotherapy in validate this strategy to say, okay, I see that I don't know, I don't want to do this. It's coming up. It's like your survival resource. And here I really um, spread a lot of time and of place for this strategy, how much it helped you to survive, how much it's useful. And but I show also that this strategy is quite young. It's like a strategy of the child state, child time of the adolescent. And I show the cost of the strategy and I show how much the adolescent has other resources than only the survival resources, which are the strategies. And here, the contact with the body is extremely important. Okay, dear adolescent, where in your body can you feel this strategy or this state? And sometimes they say, "Oh no, my body is my thing," etc. But if effectively, body is another language. They don't have to have cognitive work. They don't, and they start to look where it could be. Often, adolescents are whipping with their feet. You might know that it's really a big work. And okay, your foot is moving. I just track what I can see, and they just stop with their foot. And I said, no, 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 let your foot go, and let's see what it wants to tell us. And as long the strategy has to be in this chair of a schema therapy chair, it can be there. Where can you feel the strategy? What does it want to tell us? And sometimes they see nothing. Okay, the strategy is still here. And then the both of the techniques do the same. We negotiate with the strategy. Okay, dear strategy, you're so good in protecting our adolescent. But if you do so, we have the same goal. I also want to protect him, but show him um, how he can handle with other resources. Would you agree that just let you in a little bit? And usually these adolescents say, well, or the strategy says, okay. Another thing is, I'm really sorry, the inner child state. The adolescent, as soon as the strategy is okay to let you go to let you in, he might move to the chair, the chair. Sorry, and this here I can do some classical reparenting strategies. Ah, that was not foreseen. And I can put away all these internalized parents, maybe also parents state, the parents which can who can come in, the imaginary parents, and I can do something, and this is quite magical. I can switch again to the sensory motor psychotherapy, and I can do some what we call contact statements to get to the child state. Sometimes for adolescents, it's quite hard to be on the child's there. Well, I'm not a child anymore. That's right, you're an adolescent. And this contact statements is as if there was something that is inhibiting you contacting your inner child, for instance, or as if there was still something that doesn't want to go there. Um, all these a bit conditional sentences are extremely helpful, as if. Oh, I have the impression that, etc. All these starting sentences as if. This is helpful because the adolescent and also parents or children can see, okay, these are the thoughts, the authentical thoughts of the therapist, and it gives them a possibility to say, no, it's not like that. And as soon as they respond to these contact statements, we have a contact, we have created a contact. And this is really helpful. Sometimes, like Maria, we can use some helpers like ropes, or I have a foulard, a nice one with colors, and they also can keep them. This is like Chinese British helps us to do. In an adult state, the healthy adult or with adolescent, the healthy, I call them sometimes big adolescent, adult, adolescent, clever mode, clever and wise mode. In French, we have the wise state is the sage. It's just not to confound with some kind of this um, more oh, sorry, my French. Um, yes, nice people, nice part. So I try to avoid in French this wise part, but of course the clever part is very helpful as a term. So I can reinforce this wise, clever and wise part um, as soon as I have a contact. So how at the end, in the sensorimotor way, we can transfer this clever mode into everyday life. This sometimes is hard because they forgot. And here we can use all these things you already have shown in schema therapy, but we also can use our body. Okay, this clever and wise mode, how is it in your body? And I see that adolescents love this body work and they say, oh, it's here. Okay, great. How is it here? It's already a movement, it's a gesture, and it opens here the chest, etc. So, how is it? And how can you transfer that? I mean, in class, you can't make like that, but maybe the body, if it's used in, you just make a very little gesture, and it already makes you jump into clever and wise mode. For the strategies for the detached protector and others, we just try really to make some psychoeducation in a usual schema therapy way. So if you are like that, like an empathetic confrontation, if you act like that, if you are really angry against your mother when she comes to stop your video game, if you do so, it's getting harder and harder. So, how, as soon as your anger is coming up, which place do you want to give it? Oh, well, she never will listen. Stop. I asked you another question. Go back to the adult state like this, and you do like that. And what would say your adult attitude, bodily attitude? And then very often only then these adolescents have a big idea how they could negotiate with their mom. Mom is maybe already a bit nervous because triggered by the comportment of her child, her adolescent, and then say, Mom, I see that's getting you nervous, but let me play another 10 minutes to finish my level, whatever. And in 10 minutes, you might come back and you will see that I stopped. So often it works. Very often it works. So, how concretely can that happen? So, client, for instance, I think here on a 14-year-old, a bit oppositional client, I don't know, and mom is getting up and yeah, big conflict in family. I also worked a lot with the parents, and when client says I don't know, I could respond, oh, you don't know. Where in your body can you feel I don't know? Client might go on, I don't know. And in this point, you can give a menu. Is it more in your head, or more in the chest, or more in your whipping foot? Um, and sometimes really hardcore therapy, adolescents, I don't know. Then I also track the body, and I see this foot. Oh, I see, I think it's moving in your foot. Can you feel that foot or your chest or whatever signs give a sign of activation? And would you agree this is the first frame between the first step, that is container, and the access? Would you agree that we work with I don't know, which is your strategy, and the movement in your chest, in your foot, whatever? And I never had a no. Maybe they say, maybe not with the foot, but rather with whatever. Maybe an image or an emotion with the anger or whatever. This is okay. So we try. And which is really important, we allow ourselves to make mistakes, to be just not in. And adolescents, it helps them. They say, no, it's not like that. Okay, how is it then? And they really try hard to explain us. This is already a clever mode. I already have shown you how to make psychoeducation about these strategies, validating, and I have taken the habitude to not use strategy, not use detached protector, but this is your protecting mode. And in fact, it's like that because all these strategies want to protect our lives. So in validating like that, this strategy get accessible, like a resource for crisis, for hard times, which it is. And then, as soon as I have an access in this processes of 5 steps, I say, stay with that movement of your chest, of your foot, etc. When your strategy says, I don't know, what can you observe? Are coming up images, thoughts, on a body level, something, feelings, cognitions, etc. And some, or very often, even the clients cannot connect to the body and the real dialogue. And very often, the contact to the core needs must begin. The body and the core needs are together. And as soon as you have this connection to the body, you really sometimes you have to direct people, your adolescent. They don't like it very much because they're adolescents. This is absolutely okay. But you can feel behind that the inner child mode is grateful. Oh, there is someone who wants to guide me, who tries to connect with me, who tries to understand me, who accepts my strategy as something helpful. So, my clinical experience, the combination of schema therapy chair work, something they like. Sometimes I don't use chairs, but I use other um, helpful manners like yoga mats, or we just walk around, or we use tables, etc. These techniques and the sensorimotor psychotherapy um, calms down this detached protector of our adolescent, and they really can connect to their body. And it helps also to overcome this cognitive part, to go deeper into emotions. Um, this kind of emphasizing the validation of the strategy, and the access helps to access to the child state, and using the word protection and not another word is really helping to have a good contact. And it helps the adolescent to accept this child state or adolescent state. Body work for adolescents might be hard because their body is changing nearly every day. But it's important because it helps them to connect to them and to connect to the bodies, to accept There are things happening they are not used in, they are unknown, they are getting some panic nearly, or it's hard for them. They don't feel understood. They feel alone on the world, living or having these processes. Um, but it helps them to also get connected to their core needs, to their body, and to feel understood and connected. Here we see again this is just a model of the sensory motor um, U, if you want, container access. Then we have this treatment here in this third part. We are in the inner child, and here we can reparent, we can use other techniques, and we are really in contact. And then don't forget here, this transformation, we need time. So if it's 10 minutes before the end of the session and you're still here in treatment, try to use these last 10 minutes to use just for transformation. Feel how it changes in your body. What is happening if you're like that? And really be also in connection with the inner child when it's transformating. This is extremely important. You really, oh, it's fine, you'll feel better, but really emphasize. So I think sensory motor therapy is some kind of emphasizing schema therapy in a lot of situations. And the integration work is very similar to the schema therapy work. That means, okay, transfer into your everyday life this movement, for instance. Can you repeat it? And just to have a connection also to the adult part or the adolescent part of the brain. For you, now you have listened to me. I hope it was not too confusing. So I invite you to use these contact statements like, it seems that some anger is coming up, or as if there was something blocking you, or I have the impression there that here your foot is not does not agree with you, something like that. And dare to make mistakes. This is absolutely okay. Clients um, will say, no, 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 it's not that. And as soon as they propose something, they try to look for what is hard for them. They are in their clever and wise mode, and they're starting to be connected to themselves. I invite you as well to observe body signs like nonverbal changes on faces, or what is really particular, movements of the hands and the feet. Often these are signs of contact with the child state. And you can also name it. Try to exaggerate that movement. What is your body trying to do? And we have another technique you can use as well. You make a probe. A probe is exactly the contrary of what schemas and schema related strategies can tell. So, for instance, okay, dear adolescents, would you agree that I tell you a sentence? Yeah, okay. So they're a bit curious and a bit maybe insecure. So I say 3 times things like, you dare to be angry. And you can see the transformation on a body level. First, you dare to be angry. Oh, oh. And then you can see this transformation. Oh, I dare to be angry. Wow. And then you ask, how was that? And sometimes, in my experience, this transformation is Oh, yeah. Yes, I dare to be angry. Okay, it's not exactly like that. I prefer um, I dare to be stressed. Okay, let's take that and let's see what is the difference. Sometimes in a session, the adolescent still on its clever and wise mode share. Okay, let's see how is it you dare to be stressed. Okay, maybe I have to change chairs also to inner child share. How can you feel that? Stay with that. And as soon as the connection between clever and wise mode and inner child mode is done, and then we can enjoy, then we can really stay with that, integrate, and add some gesture, image, sentence, whatever could help in everyday life to reconnect to this feeling of being free, of being quiet, of having the possibility to be in anger, to be angry, and to express it differently. What is important for us, also a take-home message, take care of the client's distance and proximity needs, also in our contact, and his rhythm needs. Some clients are very quick on their inner child chair, and others not at all. This is not a question of rhythm. This is a question of we want to go there, like in schema therapy. Um, and sometimes we need more um, sessions to come there, but it's helpful. It helps them really. Here I have some bibliography, the books of Christoph Lose, Peter Graf, and Gernot, oh, sorry for the mistake here, Gerhard Serbach, and two main books of Pat Ogden.